Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Lock Looney Tune, and today, I'm doing the review for R&B Divas LA episode 5. I think it's called Diva in Denial. I'm just coming straight through on my webcam. I didn't even want to set up my camera. I couldn't really do any editing. This episode really kind of hit me hard because it deals with depression and suicide, and it was very emotional for me to watch the episode as well as make this video today, which is why you see me on my webcam. I just said, you know what, I can't do the whole editing thing today. I just want to talk about the situation and what Michelle A was going through on this particular episode. It was sad, it was a troubling episode, and I watched her go through she wanted to do a set, like she was doing something at the Martin Luther King Day parade, and she wanted the girls to come see her perform and everything. But when she got there, she wasn't able to do her 15-minute set that she had previously planned to do. They came to her, the people who was, some guy came to her and presented her and told her that the set was going to be 30 minutes. And when someone is in that state of mind, but you know what? I don't think, he didn't know. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do not know Michelle A's situation or what she's been through. And that's kind of hard on her, especially because if a lot of people knew what she was going through, they would probably try to be a little bit more sensitive to how they're treating her. But when she got that long list of songs that they wanted her to perform, she kind of had a mental breakdown. It was kind of crazy to see her, in that situation. And the Divas saw her in that situation, and it was disturbing to them too, to the point where they wanted to do an intervention. Now, it's kind of crazy that this episode kind of, it's coincidental that this particular situation comes at the same time when we're dealing with Robin Williams' suicide and death. Just dealing with, it's just the depression, suicide, all that. The whole situation is very, very sad, and the ladies did do an intervention and talk to her, and they went to go see her, and she was, had her, her hair in her face and her dark glasses on, and it looked like she had been crying when they got to her house. This is after the set, she performed at the set, but the thing about it is that the sound, when she actually did this performance, the sound was really jacked up. It was really messy, and you could barely hear her. Now, I know from what I heard, she sounded great, but I know all too well about, depression and, suicide. I just know all too well. I'm very, very familiar with this subject, and a lot of times, people can still walk around functioning and seeming to be happy and cheerful when on the inside they are really suffering and in pain. And she masked it well, for a while, but she has just recently went through this, just 6 months ago, not too long ago. It was like right after the Diva log, she had tried to commit suicide, and the ladies did the intervention and told her that she should have therapy. She should go see someone. Now, I personally thought she had seen someone. I thought that because, that's just me assuming that she had been through this, that she had already seen somebody. And she hasn't. Like, she's never been to therapy. We come to find this out when she goes to actually see a therapist. And we also find out that she's recently thought about suicide in the last 3 weeks, prior to her seeing this therapist. And I was just like, you know what? I mean, this is sad. And then she was talking about she was self-medicating, and I'm glad that, you know, the ladies kind of saw what was going on and tried to intervene. And Lil Mo was like, you know, I don't want to lose my sister. I don't, you know, want to see her, you know, die or anything like that. And it was such an emotional episode, and I was just like, man, you know. And then Chrisette Michele, she was singing, you know, songs, you know, trying to get her album, the Lyricist Opus, together, and the songs she was singing and her voice, and it just, the music, it just set the tone for the whole episode. And I was just like very very emotional, you know. I started to tear up, you know. I was on Twitter, and then during the time I was on Twitter, I actually saw, you know, a whole lot of people, you know, I was interacting with a whole lot of people who said they had gone through similar situations, and you know, it's hard, guys. I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around something like this. I mean, it makes it real, and it's good, actually. A lot of people think that, you know, suicide, people always saying, well, suicide is contagious, and people are glamorizing this, and it's not a glamorous thing. You know, I do believe that suicide is a very important, suicide and depression is a very important subject. Man, excuse that, guys. That's some sirens outside. But anyway, suicide and depression is a very important subject, but I don't believe that it's contagious. I just believe that when you start talking about it and people start, you know, opening up the discussions about it, that it creates awareness, and it shows people to be aware, and people around you, and to talk to people, those of us who are hurting inside, or those of us who need to talk to someone. Get out there and talk to somebody, you know. Call the suicide prevention hotlines, and just you know, talk to somebody, you know. And but basically, for the most part, that's what this episode was about. But also, they was talking about, you know, working on the Puerto Rico project, and they actually brought in Warren Campbell, who is a really good guy, you know, when it comes to, you know, producing music and stuff like that. So he had a very, very good idea, and that is to create one song but make two different versions for the song. That way, you know, I guess they wouldn't have to work so hard on the song. They would just create two different versions for the song and perform both of them and be done with it, you know. And I thought that was a real ingenious idea. But he also said that he doesn't think that all the ladies should sing lead on this project. And then, you know, I wasn't there for the shade in this particular episode, because Little Mo had threw some shade about, you know, Chrisette Michele. She was like, Chrisette Michelle's the only one that's, you know, on the charts or whatever. And then Shantae Moore was like, well, I'm on the charts. And Lil Mo was just like, yeah, whatever, you know. And I wasn't there, you know. I wasn't there for the shade. In this particular, you know, usually I'm there for the shade, you know. Usually I'm there for the drama, but this particular episode should have stayed very serious, and it was serious for me. It was a serious issue. Maybe not for everybody who has never dealt with depression or anything like that, but for me, I wasn't there for. I really wanted, you know, just to have this episode for everybody to at least get along and not have any shade thrown or anything like that. Just do the work and get things done, and go out there and support your sister. Go out there and support Michelle A. But yeah, Michelle A, she did go see the therapist, and the therapist, you know, talked to her, you know, asked her about her upbringing, her childhood, things like that. She actually found out that her grandmother actually starved herself to death. I mean, it was a very somber episode, and you know, and it's like I said, it's very coincidental that all of this stuff is happening. You know, you got the Martin Luther King Day parade, and then at the same time, and you think how coincidental she's going to do something for Martin Luther King Day, and you got this stuff going on with Michael Brown and these riots going on in Ferguson, and it all ties in together. Like right now is a very, very difficult time for a lot of people. So, you know, I just wanted to I just wanted to come through real quick with this, because I didn't want it to be a really, really drawn out long review, or I didn't want to go blow by blow, which is what I usually do on these reviews. But this particular review, I just wanted to touch on that particular point. You know, she thinks, you know, Michelle A thinks that, you know, people who love her just leave her, and she does deserve to be here, just like many of us, or all of us, or everybody deserves a chance to live their life, you know. And I just want to say that she is, she's a great person. I think she has a wonderful personality. I don't know her personally, but I've been a fan of hers for many, many years, and I don't want to see her go away from here. I'm very glad that she's still here, and I'm glad that she is trying to start a organization for people, you know, dealing with depression and suicide, and that's a good thing for her, and I think she should continue to work on that as well as work on herself. So with that being said, guys, that's the end of this video. So until my next review, guys, or my next vid, I'll holler at you. Peace.